Top 10 resume mistakes to avoid. Applying for a job is a stressful activity on its own, but what is worse is losing a job offer because of a simple mistake on your resume that you could avoid. Sadly, it's too late to make amends. Now, you have to start a new job hunting exercise. This is terrible and no one should go through this pain. It is a known fact that your resume is an important document which potential employers use to determine your fit for the role. As a result, you cannot afford to make mistakes in your resume. You must do your due diligence to avoid all unnecessary mistakes in your resume. Therefore, learning about common mistakes in resume writing would help you in your job application. Continue watching this video to learn more about the resume mistakes to avoid. Don't forget to subscribe to Academic Related TV. Here are some of the top resume mistakes to avoid during your job application. 1. Avoid typos and grammatical errors. Typos and grammatical errors are the most common mistake you must avoid in your resume. If your resume doesn't have perfect spelling and grammars, then employers will assume you have no attention for details. Also, they can easily conclude that you do not know how to write or that you just don't care about the job. This is not a very good first impression to give your potential employer. Luckily, there's an easy way to prevent this mistake from occurring. All you have to do is proofread your resume. Look over your resume several times. Use grammar and spelling checkers like Grammarly to spot errors in your resume. In addition, get a friend to take a look at your resume to catch any mistakes that you may have overlooked. If possible, read it out loud to yourself. Just do whatever it takes to ensure that you're not submitting a resume with your own name spelled wrong. 2. Avoid adding any work experience that does not relate to the available job position. So, when writing your resume, you must be deliberate. Only list work experiences and skills that are quantitative and specifically fit the position you are applying for. Your work experience should showcase your skills and achievements that are valuable to the organization. 3. Avoid clustering text. If your resume is full of text having different fonts, it will most likely be difficult for the employer to read through. In fact, too much text is not appealing and can be very tiring to read. So, make sure you are breaking your text apart with headings, paragraphs, and bullet points. 4. Avoid submitting a resume with less details. Ensure that you are adding enough details to your resume. For instance, you can include at least 3 to 5 professional experiences in your resume. Also, ensure that you showcase in details how you were successful in your last role. Make sure you are using action words to amplify all the details in your resume. Submitting a resume with less details than the recommended above may cause potential workers to look past your resume. This is because a vague detail may not give them enough evidence to show why you are a good fit for their organization. 5. Avoid using unprofessional email address. Unprofessional email addresses are now very common, but you must never use such email to submit your job application. Instead, use a professional looking email address, such as one with your first and last name or a variation of it. If you don't have a professional looking email address, then you should consider creating one for your job applications. When you include your updated professional email address, your resume will appear professional and formal. Also, it will be easier for the potential employer to remember your name since it's the same across all documents. 6. Avoid using jargons and difficult words. You must understand that not all potential employers have the time to interview all job applicants. As a result, they may outsource this part of the recruitment to a third-party recruitment agency. This recruitment team may not know all the technical jargons that relate to your field. As a result, they may not be able to understand the content of your resume. Besides technical jargons, avoid the use of hard vocabulary. Instead, use simple and easy to understand English words. 7. Avoid leaving off important information. This mistake is most common with fresh graduates. They are fresh out of school, so they feel like they don't have any experience for a job. As a result, they don't mention those jobs that put extra income in their pocket while in school. If you are in this category of fresh graduates, then you need to stop making this mistake. The fact is, The soft skills you have learned from these experiences, e.g. work, ethic, time management, and the list goes on, are more important to employers than you think. So, you must not make the mistake of downplaying your experience and lowering your worth. Always add this piece of important information in your resume to give it life. 8. Avoid adding incorrect contact information. You may have the best resume that suits the available job perfectly, but what if the employer cannot contact you for an interview? What if an email was sent inviting you for an interview but you never got to receive it? This is exactly what happens when you provide wrong contact information. 9. Avoid making your resume too long or too short. In a previous tip, I mentioned that you should add enough details in your resume. Well, that does not mean that you should go on and on adding experiences that don't matter. Then, at the end of the day, your resume goes above 5 pages long. On the other hand, you must not try to squeeze your experiences onto 1 page because you had resume shouldn't be longer. By doing this, you may delete impressive achievements that would have given your resume a facelift. The fact is that there are no real rules governing resume length. Please share this video with everyone you know so that they too can avoid making these mistakes in their resume.